So how did you first become involved in the Muppet Show?
I just went to an audition. My agent sent me to an audition, and I had never seen the Muppet Show, and I went and met Kermit, was at the audition, and said, put this puppet on and go, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And I was tall.
So can you tell us about some of the characters that you were playing on the show?
Well, I had a little pig called Annie Sue Pig, who was very, very talented, young, enthusiastic, and consequently Miss Piggy loathed her. And I also I sing as well, so I did a lot of what was called the UK spot. The show, everywhere apart from America, was 2 minutes longer because they had more commercials in America. So we did what was a one-off musical number, and that was the UK spot, and I would do a lot of the singing. Monsters, tomatoes, all kinds of creatures.
So what's the process of kind of piloting and portraying one of these characters when you're on that set?
That's really difficult for her to say because she's not very clever. You just do it.
Well, part of it is finding a voice. You see the puppet and kind of morph into it somehow. I don't know. It's like any kind of acting, and you do it through your hand. And think of the character and the voice.
Is there a difference portraying a character who is a puppet, and there are puppets are characters in their own right? Is the difference kind of portraying one of them without physically appearing as?
In the beginning, I found it very difficult because I wanted to be on screen, because I'm an actress as well, so I really wanted to be doing it myself, and it was very hard not doing it, me doing it, and making the puppet do it and living through that.
So, there are a lot of famous guests on the show. Can you tell us about any stories, anecdotes?
Well, I was just in awe because every day, every week, we'd have these incredible guest stars, people I'd loved as a kid, you know, Bob Hope, Ethel Merman. I met her later when I did a Royal Variety show with the Muppets with her. Just these unbelievable people, all the stars. Danny Kaye, who I'd loved as I was a kid, you know, to meet Danny Kaye, unbelievable. Cleo Lane, just fantastic. It was amazing. Carol Channing, so.
What was it like to work with Jim Henson as well?
Oh, well, because it was one of my early jobs, I didn't know how amazing it was. Because one of the great things about Jim was he loved his work. He just loved it. So it was like a kid in a toy shop. I don't think he could ever quite believe how lucky he was to be doing what he loved. And he would work harder than anybody else on the set. His puppets would always be the heaviest puppets. He would have his arm up in the air for longer than anybody else. So you could never complain because Jim was right leading from the front and working harder than anybody. But he was so lovely. He carried it so lightly and joyously, and we laughed so much. There was so much laughter on the set. It was just joyous, joyous.
And as someone who worked on that show all those years ago, are you a fan of the more recent Muppets outings?
Well, the most recent thing I did with the Muppet characters was Muppets Most Wanted. And I loved, you know, for me to just hang around and be paid to be with Steve Whitmire and Davy Golds, who I've known, you know, for all these years, was fantastic. And the new people who are doing the characters now are so wonderful and so talented and so carry on the spirit.
Yeah, they're great. They're fantastic. It's all wonderful, wonderful, wonderful.
Could you ever have imagined back then the show would spawn such a legacy?
You don't know, you're doing something and it's wonderful, but that it would still, these characters would still be living on after Jim's death, and it's incredible, it's wonderful, it's fantastic, and they have such a life. And working on the film, what was weird was seeing these characters operated by different people and realizing how much they came from the souls of the people who created them, that they were parts of them. And you know, my character, Annie Sue Pig, was very young and very enthusiastic. And of course, I looked back and I thought, well, that was me all those years ago, you know, coming in and bouncing up and down and a bit obnoxious. And everyone, all the characters came from their souls and their hearts. And that was why Kermit was so lovable and adorable, because it was Jim's soul. And it was amazing.
Finally, what was it like to kind of see this puppet world and be back here after all these years?
Well, we had my memories of being around Elstree. It was such a special time. And I've been back over the years, you know, I've done not quite so successful, the puppet game show we did here. And I've had, it brings back wonderful memories for me, and all the talent that was here and is still here at the Elstree Studios and in England. And Jim loved working with the British crews. He just loved it. He valued their talent and experience so much. And again, when we were back, Muppets Most Wanted was actually at Pinewood, it wasn't here. But yet again, the puppeteers saying, this talent, they'd done the last film in Hollywood, and they said, these people are better, they're more committed. And Jim loved working here so much.